What is the relationship between mechanistic and teleological explanations in physiology? To start out with, it's important to have definitions of both mechanistic and teleological before we try to apply them into the study of biology and specifically into physiology. So the mechanistic explanations of physiology are basically focused in the question how. How does something function within the body? And so for a mechanistic explanation, you're going to focus on the functional parts involved, their organization of those parts, and the interactions of those parts in order to produce an effect. And so basically in a mechanistic explanation, what you're going to be focusing in is a cause and effect relationship. And this may be demonstrated in a flow chart or some other similar explanation. Teleological explanations in physiology are focused on the why. And so you can think about teleological as being the study of the ends, the purposes, or most importantly, the outcomes of a process. So basically, what is the effect of that mechanistic approach? What is the effect of that flow chart? And so what is the outcome, or what is the kind of response you're seeing when you're focusing in on physiology? So we'll take a look at a couple examples of physiological processes in order to see the comparison between mechanistic approaches, the how, and the teleological focuses, the why. And so with sweating, the mechanistic approach is focused on the process, or to use the definition in the term, the mechanism. And so in the process of sweating, the autonomic nervous system is going to signal the sweat glands within your skin to begin to release sweat onto the surface of the skin where it is going to be evaporating. And so you have an interaction between the nervous system, kind of evaluating or sensing what's going on within the body, responding to that by releasing sweat. The teleological explanation for sweating, or the why of sweating, is focused in on the fact that sweating is going to cool the skin or the body. And so what we have here in the process of sweating is both the kind of flow chart that we're seeing here, the autonomic nervous system signaling the sweat glands releasing the sweat, and then the sweat evaporating from the surface, having an overall effect, the why, the outcome of being cooling the body. Another example that we can use in physiology to look at both the mechanistic and teleological effects is to take a look at the process of digestion. So within the process of digestion, food is going to be combined with acids and enzymes within the stomach. Those partially digested materials then are going to pass into the small intestine, where additional enzymes are going to be involved with the chemical breakdown of nutrients into small subunits, basically breaking it down into monomers. And so you're going to have a protein broken down into amino acids. You're going to have a carbohydrate, a complex sugar, broken down into individual sugar monomers, which we're generally going to refer to as glucose, but other examples of sugar monomers as well. And so the mechanistic approach, basically the flow chart or the steps within that process, are the food is going to be the food is going to be combined with acids and enzymes to start the process of chemical breakdown. It's going to pass into the small intestine, where additional enzymes are going to do additional chemical breakdown, ultimately resulting in small subunits of those monomers, small amino acids, sugars, that then have been broken down from the kind of large food particles that we're eating. Now, the teleological response, the why response, and why explanation, is that the cells in the small intestine are going to absorb those small subunits. They're going to absorb those monomers rather than polymers. And we're going to bring those small subunits, those monomers, into our body where they can be used. And then the final comparison, looking at both the mechanistic and the teleological explanation of physiology. In the mechanistic approach to studying bones, we're going to see that the cells that are involved with creating bone are going to combine inorganic and organic materials. They're going to combine inorganic calcium hydroxyapatite to the organic collagen fibers and basically result in this mineralized matrix, the bone matrix, that is going to be incredibly hard. So that is the mechanistic approach. That is the how approach. Cells within the bone, which are going to be involved with building the bone, are going to combine inorganic components with organic components, resulting in the very hard structure of the bone matrix. The teleological explanation, the why or the purpose of the outcome, is that bones form a rigid structure involved in the protection of body organs as well as movement of the body through its interactions with muscles.